Throughout history, civilizations have exhibited a pattern of rising and collapsing approximately every 250 years. This cyclical nature can be attributed to various factors, including the gradual accumulation of detrimental mutations in both cultural and genetic pools. This video explores the parallels between the decline of civilizations and the behavioral sink observed in John B. Calhoun's rat Utopia experiment. The rat Utopia experiment. John B. Calhoun's experiment, often referred to as the behavioral sink, aimed to study the effects of overcrowding on social behavior in rats. This setup included an enclosed environment with ample food, water, and nesting materials designed to accommodate up to 1,000 mice or rats. The experiment proceeded through 4 distinct phases. Phase 1, outbreak. The mice explored their new environment and established new territories. Phase 2, growth. The population increased, leading to intensified competition for space and resources. Phase 3 was the breakdown of order, which is the most important phase. The social structures began to collapse, resulting in the increased aggression, cannibalism, and aberrant sexual behaviors. A subset of mice, termed the beautiful ones, withdrew from social interactions entirely, focusing solely on grooming. And phase 4 was the decline. Despite the availability of resources, the population declined due to the breakdown of social structures and a failure in maternal care. Eventually, all the mice died. The most notable behaviours emerged during phases 3 and 4, including homosexuality, an increase in same-sex mounting and sexual activity, rape, larger, more aggressive males were forcibly mating with others, hypersexuality, indiscriminate and excessive sexual behaviour, aggression, elevated levels of violence and territorial disputes. The beautiful ones, the mice that isolated themselves solely on grooming, mostly females, decreased maternal behaviour, neglect and abandonment of offspring, with some mothers failing to bring infants to term. And 7 was isolation. Despite a high population density, some mice withdrew from social interactions entirely. Parallels with human societies. These behaviours have striking parallels in human societies, particularly during times of decline. Increase in social isolation, increase in withdrawal from social interactions, a decline in reproductive rates, failing birth rates and a decrease in family formation, increased aggression and violence, higher incidences of social unrest and crime, and sexual deviance, the rise of non-traditional sexual behaviours and hypersexuality. The role of selective pressure. I argue that the collapse observed in both the rat utopia and human civilizations is due to a lack of selective pressure. In natural environments, selective pressure eliminates detrimental mutations, maintaining the health of both the genetic and cultural pools. In artificially stable environments, these mutations accumulate unchecked, leading to the eventual deterioration of social structures. In the case of rats, a lack of natural predators and competition allowed harmful mutations to proliferate, disrupting normal social behaviours. Similarly, in human societies, the absence of external threats and challenges lead to the spread of toxic ideas and cultural practices, weakening civilization from within. Genetic mutations also build up, but the time it takes for mutations to reach a critical level in culture happens faster in humans. So why do these behaviours increase as society starts to weaken? They are all mechanisms used when we believe that the number of mutations in the gene pool is high, and we behave in different ways in order to curve the gene pool to our advantage. In a way, it is a superorganism trying to ensure the gene survival by forcing certain behaviours in specific situations in order to try and reduce mutation. Because mutation reproduces quickly, once the mutations reach a critical level, organisms will start the genetic toxin response, containing mutated females to ensure the end of reproduction of the superorganism that has mutated too much. If organisms didn't do this, mutant genes could spread to other gene pools and wipe them out too, so it's the safest option for gene survival is to have the programmed death response. This is what happened in the behavioural sink and is critically important for maintaining life, so this response would be expected in most living things with a brain. Most civilizations do not reach this point as the infrastructure to protect the civilization crumbles before that happens, but the behaviours seen in phase 3 of the behavioural sink start to emerge as civilizations decline. Conclusion. The behavioural sink experiment provides a powerful analogy for understanding the decline of civilizations. The breakdown of social order and the emergence of aberrant behaviours in the rats highlights the dangers of unchecked growth and accumulation of harmful mutations. As we examine the patterns and the rise and fall of human societies, it becomes clear that maintaining a balance of selective pressures is crucial for the longevity and stability of any civilization. By understanding these dynamics, we can better prepare for and possibly mitigate the inevitable cycles of collapse.